One of the most disgusting celebrity scandals of all time happened almost 20 years ago. We're actually coming up on the anniversary. And if you have a weak stomach, you may need to brace yourself. This is the Dave Matthews Band, and if you're too young to know who they were, it doesn't matter. What matters is that in August of 2004, their tour bus was in Chicago. The band was not on it, only the driver was. That bus was passing over the Kinzie Street Bridge in Chicago, and I am pointing at the surface. It is a metal grate. That's important. The other thing that you need to know is that these tour buses, of course, have a sewage system on board, specifically just a tank to hold the waste from the band members doing their business while on tour. Up where the driver sits, there's a switch that will open a valve and will dump that waste. For reasons unknown to this day, when that bus was passing over this bridge, the driver opened that valve and dumped 800 pounds of human waste out of the bus. And at that exact moment, under that bridge was one of these tour boats, an open-top boat with 120 tourists up there. 2/3 of those passengers were absolutely soaked in human waste. 5 had to be taken to the hospital. It went into their eyes, their mouths, their hair, onto their clothing and their personal belongings. Some of the passengers suffered nausea and vomiting. At first, the band denied it. The driver said it was some other vehicle. The police actually had to track down security cameras to prove that it was them. A few months later, the driver eventually pled guilty and got 150 hours of community service and a fine. As far as I can tell, to this day, nobody knows why the driver did it or if he did it on purpose. I actually found an interview in Esquire with a different tour bus driver years later. And he said that in those old buses, that sewage discharge switch used to be right by your elbow. He said it was really easy to accidentally hit it. Now, if you're curious about how they're supposed to empty those tanks, they have designated dump spots. But reading around online, I have seen drivers saying that if you can't get to one and if you're confident you only have liquid contents in your tank, that it's not unheard of to maybe open the valve a little bit while you're going down the highway and just let it kind of dribble out. Like this article is actually referencing an incident in 2016 where a bus connected to the Clinton campaign was dumping into a storm drain. But whether he was intentionally trying to use the graded bridge to dump into the river or, even worse, intentionally trying to dump on the boat, we'll never know. I think that seems incredibly unlikely because both of those would be extremely difficult to get away with. It's in the middle of a city. Anyway, a few years ago somebody put up a plaque in that spot to commemorate the incident.